There's a very big political fallout of all of what went down in Nagpur. Why are things playing out the way they are? We're going to try and get in perspective from some of the top journalists in Maharashtra. But before that, I want to cut across to our ground reporter, Mustafa Sheikh, who's steadfastly been reporting all the developments in terms of investigation from Nagpur. Mustafa, can you take us through the sequence of investigations that have been carried out and what has really come to the fore, which led to what has been till now a very peaceful city to break into the kind of violence that it did?
Well, of course, Preeti, the 2 days I've spent here, it is really unfortunate that something like this has happened in Nagpur. We have seen both the communities staying together, shops, commercial shops, residences being together. But yes, it has changed now, it seems. If you see that the FIR which has come to light, it is the FIR registered in Ganeshpet police station, in which Fahim Khan has been named. He is from the Minority Democratic Party. He seems to have kick-started and triggered this entire violent protest directly or indirectly, because he gathered unlawfully with some mob outside Ganeshpet police station asking for an FIR to be registered, after which more and more crowd gathered, and especially the slogans which were raised, and so also Fahim Khan targeted the police, blaming the police, saying that the police supported VHP and Bajrang Dal. So that's why the unfortunate attacks or the misbehavior with movement policemen which was seen was because of this narrative which was stoked in the minds of people, that it is the police who is supporting them, and that's why in such an inhuman way these rioters behaved with the policemen. Back to you.
All right, Mustafa, appreciate you joining us for that quick update. The investigations are still on. There is an FIR, but there'll be counter FIRs, and Trust India today to get you a very unbiased perspective on what really went down in Nagpur. Till then, let's cut across to three journalists who've been tracking the story, especially the political fallout of it. Joining me, Sudhir Suryavanshi, Senior Assistant Editor, News Indian Express, Mumbai; Dhawal Kulkarni, Senior Associate Editor, India Today Magazine. I begin with Sahil Joshi, Managing Editor, Raj Tak, Mumbai Bureau and Mumbai Tak. Sahil, there is a clear political fallout of it. Now, why are we seeing what we are seeing? It's a government which has brute majority, yet, the kind of commentary that we are seeing even inside the incumbent government with all the allies is unfathomable.
Well, it's very interesting that it has never happened before that the issue with respect to Aurangzeb's tomb in Khultabad in Sambhajinagar has ever became such a big issue that there were widespread protests across Maharashtra by the VHP and Bajrang Dal, and the fallout has been seen in Nagpur. It is completely unheard of. What Mustafa was saying a while back, that it had never happened in Nagpur that the riots because of the two religious groups clashed with each other. It had never happened in 1992 as well. When the Mumbai was burning, the Nagpur was completely calm and quiet. So interestingly, nobody thought that Aurangzeb's tomb issue will become such a big political fallout in Maharashtra. It clearly looks like that there is some sort of one-upmanship within the alliance partners, and the way we saw that the issue originally was picked up by Eknath Shinde, the leader of Shiv Sena, and the Deputy Chief Minister, when Abu Asim Azmi, the Samajwadi Party's Maharashtra president, while speaking to the media, said that some of the historians have said that Aurangzeb was also a good administrator, and that issue was picked up by Eknath Shinde in Maharashtra Assembly, and then everybody started talking about it, and the peak of that issue happened when Nitesh Rane, one of the BJP minister, while speaking to the Bajrang Dal and VHP activist in Shivneri on the day of Shiva Jayanti, made it very clear that there should be a Babri-like action in Maharashtra with respect to the Aurangzeb's tomb, and the government will do its duty when so it clearly looks like that there is some kind of a one-upmanship. Having said that, it's very serious the way things happened in Nagpur, and the way a political party which nobody has heard of. I mean, the leader of the political party who has been arrested in Nagpur had contested the Lok Sabha election, and he had merely got 1,500 votes when he contested Lok Sabha election. So it is completely interesting to see. It's very interesting to see that such a small party made Nagpur boiling on 17th of March. So it clearly, as I said before, that it looks like that there is a kind of a one-upmanship, and that is actually
many layers within the story. Right.
At this point of time.
I want to bring in Dhaval Sahil. Thank you for joining us. Dhaval, with your perspective, for somebody who studied the politics of Maharashtra, why are we seeing the kind of language that you see, where you have a deputy chief minister of the state who actually says that he'll charge people with treason if they praise Aurangzeb?
Preeti, let us get this very clear. Any form of violence or hate speech is obviously deplorable. But at the same time, we must also realize that the problem or the controversy did not begin with the screening of Chhawa, but what happened after that. Because as if on cue, Abu Asim Azmi, speaks out in favor of Aurangzeb, then is suspended from the assembly in the ongoing budget session. Then, the leaders from the Hindu right-wing groups, they get into the act, making all sorts of incendiary statements, even calling for the demolition of Aurangzeb's tomb, which is a protected monument, which is a monument that has been protected by the Archaeological Survey of India. See, the problem is, in Maharashtra, as the historian T.S. Shejwalkar famously said, history is the ghost which is sitting on Maharashtra's neck. He said, Itihas ha Maharashtracha mangutivar baslela mahasambandha hai. And he's so true, it was so prescient, because today we are so obsessed with history, its contentious readings and interpretations, and the real and imagined slides of the past. We vacillate so much between narratives of chest thumping and victimhood that we have taken our eyes of what the present and future hold for us, And if religion is the opium of the masses, history combined with religion is the even more potent fix. And what is more shocking is that even ministers and leaders from the ruling Mahayuti combined in Maharashtra are making communally loaded and incendiary statements. And there are good reasons to say that this is meant to divert public attention away from the more pressing bread and butter issues of the day. So for instance, Maharashtra's economy, and I am referring to the economic survey of Maharashtra, which was tabled in the state legislature recently. So the economic survey, which is an official state government publication, shows that Maharashtra's economy is expected to grow at 7.3% in 2024-25, which is lower than the 7.6% growth that the state saw in the preceding financial year. And it has also said industrial growth and services sector growth are expected to fall. You go anywhere, you speak to any youngster in Maharashtra, the rising cost of education, lack of jobs and employment, lack of afford healthcare, they are pressing issues. And let me say this aloud. Are our politicians trying to feed people this heady mix of religion and history just to keep public attention away from these issues?
Very good point, Dhaval.
Rightly pointed out, there are wheels within wheels. There's a battle of one-upmanship going on between the BJP and the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, in which, these are sort of collateral damages.
This is all collateral in that. I'm going to, because it's really important with what Dhaval and Sahil have said, especially for our viewers to get a larger understanding. I want to bring in Sudhir into this conversation, and in the days to come, we're going to do a larger debate on just that. But Sudhir, if you can put the spotlight on, Sahil brought in the perspective that you also touched upon yesterday, the infighting within the incumbent government where the allies are concerned, and a race of one-upmanship. Then you have Dhaval, who said very clearly, diversionary tactics, the economic survey, the debt Maharashtra is under, the taking away of funds from the Ladki Bahin Yojana, all of that feeding off on what you can see on ground is a communally explosive, reality right now playing out in Nagpur.
Preeti, I think we all discussing this issue. Generally what happens, this kind of communal issues has been, raised and raked up during the election campaign. And once the election campaign, gets over, everybody, join the administrative work and the focus on the development. But here we have seen very different kind of politics in Maharashtra. Maharashtra has not witnessed such kind of politics earlier. This Mahayuti government has got, you rightly said, it has got a brutal majority in the house. The house number, strength is 288, and they got more than 170, more than 200 seats. Still, they are making, that inflammatory, provocative comments against the one community, pitching against one community. I think that is quite curious to know and understand all these things, why such kind of things are happening. First thing, what I feel that, as Sahil rightly pointed out, that within the Mahayuti, there is a big competition between the Eknath Shinde, who is the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and Devendra Fadnavis, who is the Chief Minister. And the both party, share the same Hindutva ideology. To cut to size the Uddhav Thackeray, they broke the Sena. Now there is another alternative. That party is also growing day by day. And Shinde is also ambitious for the top post. So I think that is one of the reasons to grab the as much as space, and therefore the BJP leader, Nitesh Rane, has been making very controversial statement from the day one, as he is saying that there was no Muslim, in the Shivaji's army. Then he has made a controversy, Mallar and Jhatka, mutton, all these things. Why such kind of controversy was made by him, and tacit support by his bosses. Today, it's a very good thing that Devendra Fadnavis, it reportedly, told all his cabinet leader, arrested from making such communal, statement. One thing I don't understand, one hand, Chief Minister and his delegation went to Davos in Switzerland to sign the 17 lakh crore, agreement for the investment in Maharashtra. And on the other hand, we are having the violence in Nagpur, where the Mian project is there. So what kind of example, what kind of message they want to send to the investor? That is a big question.
Okay, fair point. I appreciate all three of you for joining us, sharing your perspective. We're going to do a larger debate tomorrow. I hope all three of you would be joining us because, with what is happening is on one side, viewers, where you see the kind of violence that takes place, the investigation that is going on. Nagpur, a peaceful city, suddenly sitting on a communal tinderbox. But away from that, there is a political fallout, and why the kind of statements that are coming together. We're going to break that down, and that should be broken down.